Hey folks, welcome back to Noman Reviews for another toy review and unboxing. Today we have Wolverine 1973 by Hot Toys from X-Men Days of Future Past. This is the deluxe edition and the special edition. While I've been looking forward to checking out the toy and all the nicely crafted accessories, I'm just a bit concerned because the head sculpt has looked a bit squished in the latest blogger photos. But experience tells me that it might just be a bad case of poor photography. So what we're going to do is unbox this in the light box, look at the portrait ourselves, and then bring it all out back to the toy room for some fun poses like these ones. Before we do, hope you can tap that like button and subscribe button to support my channel. Here we have the front of the box. It's surprisingly nice, surprisingly glossy. I love the dull gold color. I love how shiny this box is. Right in the center, you have a silhouette of Wolverine. He's strutting forward with his bone claws out. Hot Toys sticker. It says deluxe version over here. Some branding over here, as you can see. I really like the shoebox design. It's very attractive. And you might notice that there's no sideshow logo here because I got this directly from Hong Kong. The side of the box continues the design. At the back, you have a warning. You have some logos up top. And you have some legalese. That's the box. I can't wait to open it. I can't wait to see how that sculpt looks. So here you have Wolverine. There's a sculpt. And from this angle, it doesn't look too squished. I know it's a cliche, guys, but that sculpt looks fantastic in hand. So far, you've got an extra shirt. You've got this Sentinel piece, I think. That's the Sentinel special edition piece. A couple of hands. Bone claw hands. Well, forearms. And just hands too, that's very interesting. And you've got some extra pegs. Here you have the booklet. For a second I was very excited. I thought that was a katana, but it's not a katana, it's just part of the base. Oh, I'm just gonna have a quick look. So that is an absolutely gorgeous sculpt. Just first impressions, looks amazing. Does it look squished? Not really, but it does look squished compared to the first photos. But in general, it looks like Hugh Jackman. My only concern is the body. Hugh Jackman is, of course, Hugh Jackman, as in he hits the gym a lot, and the body feels a bit weak. Well, not weak, but it doesn't feel bulky enough. What we're gonna do now is look at the booklet and then move on to the accessories. Always a good idea to glance at the booklet. You have an expensive figure in your hand and you don't want to break anything. So it's best to just check the booklet out just to figure out the articulation and how to get the accessories on. Shows you how to do the head movement, how to change the forearms. So this makes me very uncomfortable because I don't have a warranty. I bought this directly from Hong Kong, from a supplier, and I didn't buy this from Sideshow. And it's very sad to see that Hot Toys is continuing this flawed design from 10-15 years ago. The Terminator 2 battle damaged figure had this exact design. It was notorious for breaking, and now they've got two forearms like this. And it just seems really risky. And I think this is why InArt and other toy companies are now kicking Hot Toys' ass, because they're at least innovating. They're trying to innovate. And Hot Toys is still stuck in 15-20 years ago. So that's very disappointing. Teaches you how to remove the belt, how to put the black shirt on, how to get the Sentinel machine gun ready, assembling the diorama base, and gives you some warnings so that you don't damage your figure. Nothing about the articulation, which is fine because this toy does not have a fat suit. So it's going to be pretty much free to do what you want with it. So here is the first round of accessories. Over here you've got his black shirt. If you're wondering what these are, these cushiony things go over his biceps to give him a more muscular look. There's the sentinel machine gun that comes with the special edition. Couple of hands with the bone claws, and a couple of forearms with the bone claws if you want to take off the jacket and want to do a more ripped look, a more muscular look, where you can pop these under the shirt over the biceps. Nothing particularly special about these pads. They just serve a utility. Here is the black shirt. You can take off his default shirt, the shirt he has on with the design, and put this one on. And you can roll up the sleeves if you want. And you can get the pads over here. Here's a sentinel machine gun, very nicely painted. I love all the dirt effects over here on the clear plastic, on the blue plastic. Even on this part, which is supposed to be metal, of course it's plastic too, but they've done a really good job. Nice finish on the gun. Has a bit of a rusty effect to it. Very nice paint apps. Unfortunately, the machine gun does not turn. However, you can pull this out for some more play value, I guess. You can probably stick Wolverine's claws in here. Here are the fists. Hot Toys usually does a really good job with the hands, and they've done a good job here. Nice skin tone, as you can see. Hugh Jackman is a very hairy man, and Wolverine is a very hairy character, so they've done a good job with the hair on the palm. Alternative hands with the bone claws. Again, they've done a good job with the skin tone, good job with the paint apps to make the hands look hairy. I like how the bones look. I do wish we had a metallic claw hands. I know it's not accurate to the character that they're doing, but it would have been nice to have that. Still, these are very nicely done. So here are the forearms. They have the claws out. Again, as I said, if you want to do a rolled up sleeve look, you can get these ones on. I like all the detail over here. Look at all the veins. Look at all that hair. Very true to Wolverine, very true to Hugh Jackman. Skin tone is perfect. Disappointed that they're sticking with this really old system. It was flawed then, it's flawed now. The pegs tend to break, and once they break, you're pretty much screwed because you need that specific body. You can't just get any body to replace it. And if you buy this piece from Hong Kong without a warranty, I would suggest you just don't use these forearms. Here's the whole diorama set. You've got the base and a few large pieces over here, a small pipe, and the stand that will probably fit here. Of course, mine does say Wolverine, which I find kind of hilarious. At the same time, it's really unprofessional by Hot Toys. This pipe looks quite rusty, well done by Hot Toys. Same with this piece here. Nice rust effects. Does look like it saw a few battles. Again, looks very rusty, well done by Hot Toys. This concrete, it looks very impressive in terms of craftsmanship. Really does look like concrete. Love the battle damage. For example, Wolverine claws over here. Nice paint apps. I love the rusty rods that are just sticking out. Just looks like a typical broken piece of concrete, but not so typical because it has had some battle damage on it. I really love this base, and this is where Hot Toys has done some innovation. So this feels like artificial turf, something you'd find in a tennis court or maybe a cricket ground. So Hot Toys would usually just do some paint apps over here to make it look like grass. But here, they've actually innovated and they've given us some fake grass. So good job, Hot Toys. I'm going to assemble this diorama in a little bit, but just a reminder on how it's done. Here is the diorama base. I actually don't remember what scene this is from. Days of Future Past was so long ago. I do remember it was an excellent film, but I don't remember what this scene is from. Anyway, I think Hot Toys has done an excellent job with this set. The diorama looks fantastic. Really great paint apps, really great mold. I love how rusty all the metal pieces look. Concrete looks really good from the back. The only flaw, of course, is that it says Wolverine instead of Wolverine. Of course, the other flaw is that some of these pieces were difficult to get in, and this is becoming a pattern with Hot Toys. My Mark III reissue was challenging to put together. Some of the big pieces just don't fit right, and I think it is a design flaw. This is a bit better, but it was still very difficult to get in. But yeah, I do love the artificial grass. That is an excellent piece of innovation by Hot Toys, and it really gives a lot of life to this diorama. Here he is, straight out of the box in a museum pose. It's Wolverine, or should I say, Wolverine. So any fears I had about the head sculpt, they're gone. This portrait is fantastic. Really good paint apps, and the likeness to Hugh Jackman is excellent. I love that they gave us a leather jacket. You can tell it's leather from the grain on the leather. Plus, it smells like leather, and of course the booklet also tells you that it's leather. I just wish the body was a bit more muscular. It isn't muscular enough for Hugh Jackman or the character. Side profile looks really good. Probably have to fix the jacket a bit from the back, but again, looks excellent. Yep, they've done a really good job here. The likeness to Hugh Jackman is very good. I know it's a cliche, but this is one of those portraits that you have to have in your hand to appreciate how it looks. Does it look squished? Maybe a little bit compared to the original photos. I also think the blogger photos that came out and caused all the controversy were a bit flawed. Maybe they used the wrong lens and the wrong lighting, but in hand, this looks amazing. Really good paint applications. Look at that skin tone. Very rich, very nice complexion. You can see the ears, they're a bit darker too. Eyes look great. I like how the eyebrows are furrowed. Very intense look. The mouth is open a little bit. It's just the right amount of aggressive in my opinion. If you want him to have the claws out, this look works. If you just want him to be in a museum pose and look intense, this look works too. I love how the mouth is open just a little bit. The stubble molded in, you can feel it. Hair looks great. Side profile, fantastic. Excellent paint apps on the hair. I think this is one of the best Hot Toy sculpts of the year. And if that's what's holding you back from buying this figure, don't worry, the head sculpt looks good. Unfortunately, the figure does have some other flaws which we will explore in a little bit. Time to look at the articulation now, and I've taken off the jacket just to make the articulation easier. To take off the jacket, you just pin the arms back and you pull off the jacket gently. Remember, it's genuine leather, so you just have to be a bit careful. Taking the jacket off, you realize that the body is muscular, but it lacks a bit of bulk. I'm not saying it should be Superman bulk, but it should be a bit bulkier. Head tilts left, tilts right, turns left, turns right, no problem. Looks down very nicely. Looks up very nicely. Shoulder goes up 110 degrees. Arm moves forward. Arm moves back. Beautiful double jointed elbow, which is absolutely necessary for this figure. Absolutely necessary. Cut at the bicep allows you to move the forearm sideways. Of course, the hand moves 360 degrees. Outstanding ab crunch. Look at that, beautiful. Again, amazing. Twists really nicely, so you can get some really exciting poses. Tilts left, tilts right. Legs stretch, but I suspect because of the fabric, it's going to be a bit limited. No, they do pretty well. Actually, this is a really nice pair of jeans they've done, because it's actually not denim, of course, but it's very stretchy. So good job here, Hot Toys. Leg kicks forward, kicks back, double jointed knee. Of course, this is a shoe. There's no cut here, so there's no toe articulation. However, there is some ankle articulation. The toy stands really well because the sole of the boot is very solid. So overall, the articulation is just brilliant. This is exactly what this figure needs. You can get all sorts of action poses. You can twist so much of the bicep, of the chest, the abs, well, not the chest, but the abs, the head, and you can get lots of dynamic poses. So I'm very, very happy with the articulation. So here is Wolverine in Paint Me Like One of Your French Wolverines pose, and we're going to take a closer look at the soft goods. Let's start with the jacket, of course. This is an absolutely beautiful jacket. Look at that. The inlay is really nicely done. Outstanding stitching, very professional. Zip doesn't work, but that's to be expected. It's genuine leather, you can tell because it stretches a little bit. You can see the grain, and of course it smells like leather. Yes, leather. Very nice looking pants. They aren't actually denim, but they are designed to look like denim, nicely stitched. And as I said before, they're very stretchy, so you can get a lot of nice poses. Shirt, very nice quality. Belt looks good. Good print over here. Good print on the shirt too. And the fitting is really nice. Again, I just wish the body was a bit more muscular, but once you take the jacket off, you realize that it is a bit muscular. Not enough, but a bit. So I decided to be brave. I took off the shirt, and as you can see, these buttons are very, very fragile. And in some parts they've used Velcro. And I don't understand why they don't just use Velcro everywhere. Because these buttons are very flawed and they can break quite easily. So here's the Wolverine body with the shirt off. And yeah, as you can see, just needs to be more beefy. But we're gonna get the armbands on just to see if we can get him to look a bit more muscular. Here we have Wolverine with the bands on his arms. Getting these on was not difficult at all. You just pull off the hands and you slide them up. It's very easy. Hopefully that makes him look a bit more muscular under that black shirt. So I've been telling you guys to read the booklet because you can't pull these forearms off with force. Just won't come off, and if you pull too hard, they're gonna break. What you actually have to do is push the forearm back at the joint and it just pops off really easily. So I've got Wolverine in a drunk uncle look. He's got the shirt on, but it's not buttoned up because he's had too much to drink and he's shouting at his family. But the biceps look much better. One thing to keep in mind is that once you've got the biceps beefed up, you can't get the jacket on. I'm gonna do a few poses now, and let's start with drunk Uncle Wolverine staring longingly at a bottle of beer. I can't remember if he can get drunk or not. I think he can't because of his healing abilities, but someone in the comments remind me. So here we have Wolverine with the forearms on, the sculpted forearms. As I said, once you know the technique, you can get them off quite easily. You just have to push back at the joint and you have to use some force and they snap off. So they didn't break for me, but I can't guarantee anything for anyone else. Again, I think while I did figure it out, I would say the system is quite flawed and they need to learn from companies like InArt who are innovating in this area. Removing the forearms and putting new ones on shouldn't be this challenging. They're muscular. You can see there's some hair painted on them and very nicely toned veins on them too. And I've got the padding in the bicep, so yeah, that looks much better now. Looks much more like Hugh Jackman. So yeah, if you get this figure, I do recommend that you get the forearms on. Just say a prayer before you try. You just have to bend the forearm backwards and then it does snap off. One thing I should mention is that because these forearms are sculpted and there is no hand movement here, you're going to get less motion, and even with the double jointed elbow, you might struggle to get that pose where he has his claws across his chest. This is the pose I was talking about. I got the sculpted forearms off the body, got the regular forearms back on. For a size comparison, here is 1973 Wolverine with Hot Toys Captain America from Endgame. And Captain America is quite a bit taller, which I guess makes sense, because Wolverine is one of the shortest characters in comic books. But in film, I think he was shown as much taller. So it's a bit of a surprise that he is shorter than Cap here. Another size comparison, this time with Mark 85. He's got the V2 of the Robert Downey sculpt from Avengers Endgame. Another comparison, this time with Amazing Spider-Man 2 2.0. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man looking a bit awkward here. Another size comparison, this time with Gladiator Hulk. And obviously Gladiator Hulk is massive compared to Wolverine. I wonder who would win in a fight between these two. You would say Wolverine because he has all the superpowers, but I would say Batman because Batman always wins. That's his superpower. My final score for Wolverine 1973 is going to be 4 out of 5 stars. If I scored this toy on how much joy it gave me, it would have earned a perfect score. I love the portrait. Very nicely molded and painted. The genuine leather jacket is really nicely crafted, and all the other soft goods are excellent. The sculpted forearms are beautiful, and I love that the base has artificial grass. Unfortunately, there are many flaws with this package too. The muscular body should have been more muscular, the forearm system feels really outdated and prone to breakage. The shirt buttons can also break quite easily, and the Wolverine spelling, although hilarious, is hard to ignore. But if you can live with these flaws, this is a beautiful set with really nice craftsmanship and has a lot of shelf presence and play value. That's all folks, thank you so much for watching. Hope you can like and subscribe. Please stick around for some fun poses by Wolverine.
Then I stop myself for a while.